the fight to keep a mass murderer in jail. In 1995, William Patrick Mitchell was convicted of killing a young mum and her 3 children while on a cocktail of drugs and alcohol. Now, Mitchell is up for parole, but family for the victims are determined to do everything they can to block that. Martin King reports.
Why don't you both do it?
Why are criminals protected? Why do they get all the rights? You will not win, Mitchell. I won't let you. I won't let you.
I mean, he's a monster. It's just inconceivable that anybody could do that.
It was a fatal mixture. A man armed with an axe to grind.
That day, it changed so much in our family. You know, I mean, Mitchell destroyed them.
In his sights, a family of 4. A mother, a teenage boy, and 2 girls, 7 and 5. In his blood, a concoction of cannabis, amphetamines, and alcohol.
Having investigated many homicides throughout my career as a police officer, this is one where I've sort of never really quite come to terms with how somebody could do that to a young family like this.
This is one of Australia's most sickening crimes, the murder of a mother, Karen McKenzie, and her 3 children. So sickening, a judge ruled that some details of the attack should be kept secret because they would traumatise the public. And to this day, those details are still hidden. What we can tell you is that the killer, William Patrick Mitchell, was a lunatic loner whose crimes were so shocking and so depraved that some investigating police were never the same again. Some officers even left the force.
We all had young children at home. No one can prepare people for that, no matter how much training or preparation you have.
And nothing can prepare Karen's family for the possibility that the mass killer could be paroled within weeks.
Every 3 years we have to do this. Why? What? Where's the justice?
Karen's sister, Evelyn Clow. She says Mitchell's recurring right to a parole hearing every 3 years is destroying what's left of the family.
Every time we start to make steps forward, this comes up again, and I can't not fight to keep him in.
Why do you fight?
If this person got out and did this to another family, I would never ever forgive myself.
Evelyn says she owes it to her sister and her nieces and nephew to keep Mitchell behind bars. But authorities have already moved him from maximum to medium security, and she fears the worst, an imminent release.
It just gets so hard. But I can't let him win. I won't let him win.
In 1995, Mitchell was convicted of 4 counts of murder and of sexual assault offences. He was jailed for life with a 20-year minimum non-parole period. The public was outraged, and the Crown won an appeal to have him locked away with no chance of parole. But the mass killer fought the ruling and had it overturned, all of which means 2 things. Effectively, he's serving around 5 years jail for each murder. Even less really when you consider the sexual assault charges. And second, it gives him the right to ask the parole board for his freedom.
My personal opinion is that he forfeited the right to be released back to the community the day that he took those 4 young lives.
What can mentally prepare you to discover the bodies of a mother and 3 children? The answer, says Bryn Jones, is absolutely nothing.
We discovered the bodies. We were all pretty shocked. There was 4 of us. We were all very traumatised and shocked at the time. It was difficult.
Bryn Jones will never forget it. Cold-blooded murder on a hot summer's day. Karen and the kids lived on this remote property 400 kilometres north of Perth. 16-year-old Daniel had already been found in the driveway, killed with an axe. as the lead crime scene investigator, Bryn Jones, was first in the house.
It was just horrific. Inside the house, we've got 3 people who suffered a tragic death through very violent acts. It was just horrific to try and sort of comprehend how anybody was capable of doing that.
You can't call the person an animal because animals have better decency than what this person has. You yourself have children, grandchildren. You look at them when they're sleeping. How can you go in and attack and kill beautiful little baby girls?
So innocent.
They're totally innocent. How can you do that?
So why did he do it?
Because he's a sick, perverted piece of garbage.
She knocked him back.
Yeah, apparently propositioned her and she said no. And why doesn't a woman have a right to say no?
Exactly.
You know, I don't understand why he thinks he can take her life just because she said no.
Police say he was very clinical and free of emotion.
He came across that way to me in the court case.
There was no emotion, there was no remorse. It was really similar to the way someone would describe how the steps they took to wash their car.
To keep pressure on the WA Parole Board ahead of the hearing, Evelyn from Langwarrin in Melbourne has organised a petition. They can't keep him in jail forever, can they?
Why not? Why not?
Should they?
Yes. Yes, they should. Why should... He should never, ever be released.
If you want a guarantee, then you lock people up for life and leave them there, but we don't operate that kind of system.
Robert Richter, QC. He's represented some of Australia's highest profile accused, from Julian Knight, the convicted Hoddle Street mass killer, to Mick Gatto, acquitted of murdering gangland hitman Andrew Venyman. He acknowledges parole boards have made mistakes, but...
The overall systemic view is that a parole system has its uses and is necessary. The fact is, otherwise we would have prisons that are overflowing with enormous costs to society.
Karen's family says after what he did, he has no rights. How does that sit with you?
Everybody has rights. I mean, to say he has no rights, what does that mean?
Well,
does
they
that
said
mean
he's foregone his rights.
he's foregone his rights? Has he foregone his rights to life, for example? Does it mean that in prison he can be abused and tortured and killed?
Well,
no, she can't mean that.
Know if he is.
She can't mean that, but those are rights. He has rights.
I don't think he should be released. Perhaps if there's enough public support and public outcry about the potential of him being released, then maybe it's something that those who make the decisions can consider.
She was my big sister. She was good at it. I love her.
Statistically, the parole system is for the social good and works.
You've represented a lot of murderers. Can you give this family any comfort from the perspective from the killer in jail?
The only comfort I can give them is that hopefully after 23 years, the person is not the same person as the one who went in.
You went and saw him in jail
I did.
not so long ago.
2010.
And what did he say?
He just said that, I'm sorry. And I turned around and said, you're only sorry because you're inside.
Sorry for himself.
I said, yeah, pretty much.
I think it's such a brave step for her to confront Mitchell inside the prison. I can understand why she did that.
I don't think the parole board would be releasing a person who is the same as the killer. People change, and that's what our system is based on.
There's always an element of risk that a person who's capable of doing that sort of thing could possibly do something again, and that would be the worrying thing.
You will not win, Mitchell. I won't let you.
The WA Parole Board considers Mitchell's application on September the 23rd. Evelyn wants as much public support as possible through her petition.